No, I definitely didn't forget to finish up this league. I am definitely actually finishing up this league, and I don't know why you assumed that I would forget and let the time run out. I'm frankly insulted. We're finishing up a league of standard through the ages, playing the classic Cawblade. And the last time that I was on here, somebody asked me for the deck list. And I had to clarify that this is the deck list that Wizards of the Coast, or at least their Magic Online division, chose to represent historical Cawblade. Uh, I don't endorse it. I don't vouch for it. I wouldn't have built this list in this way. It makes some of the same mistakes that I see all over the place. Randy Bueller, in his historical standard Gauntlet of Greatness, which, by the way, fantastic content. Hey, Randy, make another one. But he also, the first couple of times that he had Cobblade in there, had some serious errors. Everyone makes the same mistake, which is that they use a late list. Cobblade got big with the printing of Stoneforge Mystic, allowing you to go get Sword of Feast and Famine. And that engine was what pushed it from being a pretty okay, I guess, tap out control deck to being a broken metagame force. It beat everything, it took over. The only thing that could beat it was red, white, burn, and then they printed a sword that protects your guys from their bolts, and of course, Batterskull, which undoes everything that they achieved with the burn. So you look at that and you think the good lists will be the ones that were made after those cards were printed, right? The problem with that line of thinking is that the metagame that this deck was built for is a metagame in which the only deck at the top tables is Cawblade. If you look at the one that took Pro Tour Paris, you'll notice that they had 4 copies of Day of Judgment in the main deck as opposed to 1 copy in the sideboard. Day of Judgment is a good card against an open field because a lot of decks are going to play a bunch of creatures and you're going to need to recover. Control decks want to do a bunch of stupid 1-for-1s in the early game. You need a way to equalize, and your board wipes are what is going to achieve that for you. So having 0 board wipes in the entire main deck it's not a good look. Also, this one has no copies of Gideon Jura. Gideon Jura is hard to resolve when your opponent is playing Spell Pierces and Mana Leaks. I get that. But it's also a generically excellent card. Gideon Jura is powerful and wins games. So cutting it means your deck will win fewer games. It is nice that we have Inkmoth Nexus. It is nice that we have spot removal at all. The versions of Cawblade that originally took over the entire metagame didn't have access to Dismember. The only spot removal available was Oust, which is sorcery speed. They're getting the creature back soon. Or Condemn, which is a little limited because if the reason that they want the creature to be in play is because of an ability, they can simply choose not to attack. So, Dismember, strict upgrade. Very happy to see that. Batterskull, Sword of War and Peace, strict upgrades. Very happy to see them. Consecrated Sphinx is really good if the opponent has Jace the Mind Sculptor. That makes that card absolutely fantastic, but if they don't, I think I would rather have Gideon Jura. And after all of that, after making these concessions to the metagame, they played Jace Beleren, because in 2011, if your opponent had a Jace the Mind Sculptor and you cast Jace Beleren, it would destroy that Jace the Mind Sculptor. That's not the case anymore. So if you're going to compare this to other decks, you probably shouldn't have Jace Beleren in the deck at all. Also, this is a tiny little nitpick, but this one has Disenchant in the main. Now, it was very common in the late era of Cawblade to have, I believe, Divine Offering? Divine Offering. That's the 2-mana artifact destruction spell. You'd typically see that in the main to destroy the opponent's Batterskull, but I don't actually think that Disenchant was standard legal when this deck was around. A little bit of an anachronism, I believe. I guess I could be wrong about that. So, those are my grievances. Those are my objections. If I was called upon to build Cawblade, it would instead look like this. The cards would be way smaller and much harder to read. But overall, The mana base is fine, although I like having the fetches to shuffle after a Jace. I think Force Spell Pierce is good. I recognize that most people do not think Force Spell Pierce is good. They have their opinion and I have mine. The 2-drops pretty much remain the same, except that I don't have Into the Royals here because the list feels too crowded, but I would have my board wipes, just because it's a generic out to game states which are simply lost without it. And then we have Gideon Jura, which also just wins games. Sideboards, of course, are highly variable. I do think having a Sword of Body and Mind is worthwhile just because it is protection from colors. But yeah, that is my rant regarding the choice of deck. With that being out of the way, let's see if we can actually get a match. And as always, we will sit in meditative silence. I was expecting that to take 8 minutes. I can't really get a good meditation in 22 seconds, so I'm sorry, guys. I really tried to get you a nice pause, a little reprieve from your day. Ooh, oh, maybe the opponent won't connect. No, I guess we have to play Magic the Gathering. And we're going first, which feels good. No white source for turn 2, but we do have a Preordain. I'm comfortable enough keeping it. Both to the bottom, because what we need right now is a white source. We didn't get it, but we will have Mana Leak up. I do not currently need a stop on my own instep. The Mirror! Or potentially that could be Splinter Twin, but it's probably the Mirror. Yeah, all we have is Mana Leak. Cawblade, despite having Jace the Mind Sculptor and Mana Leak and Spell Pierce, not really a control deck. You really want to play your 2-drop threat. But we didn't. They're going to illustrate how good Spell Pierce is, aren't they? Spell Pierce is so good. They went for the sword. This person has a little bit of experience with the deck. We have no live plays except to go in for poison damage. The hardest lesson for control players to learn is never keep a hand with imperfect mana. One card more is simply not worth it. I'm having this illustrated for myself. I would say that it's a teaching moment, except that I will not learn my lesson and I will keep more bad hands. I guess rather than realizing that sword is the best thing in the mirror, they might actually just have Batterskull in hand. But I choose to attribute excellence to my opponent. The opponent has some extraordinarily difficult decisions to make. The opponent has been called on to make significant foreign policy decisions. This is actually an ASMR stream until the ice in this glass melts. Maybe we actually do have time for a guided meditation stream. Okay, everybody, take a deep breath. Just, just chill out, man. Just like calm down. No, calm down. Just, Jesus, chill. Guy, close your eyes. Close them. Keep them shut your eyes and breathe. This is how guided meditation works, right? So a moth walks into a dentist's office, and he says, "Doc, you gotta help me. I think I'm a moth." And the dentist says, "I'm not psychiatrist. I am dentist. And do moth have tooth?" And the guy says, "Oh, I have many teeth." Okay, they're playing. Yeah, I feel like they've got it. Oh, just for the sick rub-ins. Okay. Uh, let's get some poison in. Anyway, the call was coming from inside the dentist's office, is the punchline. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Reckon I'll discard a Stoneforge Mystic. It doesn't super matter. A measly 5 turns too late. Am I comfortable trading an Inkmoth Nexus for a Squadron Hawk? Truthfully, I think I'm not. My mic stand is slowly sliding down, forcing me to lean forward more and more, and I could easily fix it, but all of you would have to endure the sound of me grappling with my microphone. Well, maybe that's a thing. Maybe that's the new ASMR hotness, all right? Everybody get ready. Yeah. Was that good for you? Redundant Jaces. Mm-hmm. Typically, in any context, I would say more birds is better. But I'd like them to be more evenly distributed. Alright, now if we go for the Stoneforge Mystic, they would need double mana leaks, which they could easily have. And then we get... I think we have to get War and Peace? That feels wrong. If we go for the Hawk, we lose this game of Magic. But what if we just Windmill Slam a Consecrated Sphinx? No, there's no way they don't have Mana Leak in hand at this point. They only have one, though. Yeah, Sword of War and Peace gives protection from all of their creatures and can make back some of this life we've lost. Maybe I should have courageously gone for the chase, but I feel like they have to have one mana leak. No? I should have gone for the Sphinx. What a fool I've been. Dismember, okay. Fair enough. Oh. Okay. Rude. You know, I'm going to go ahead and destroy that Celestial Colonnade. Largely out of spite. Yeah, so that's lethal. Okay. Sideboarding for the mirror. Obviously we want Flash Freeze. Obviously we want Celestial Purge. I joke. Disenchant. Sun Titan seems good once they destroy our swords. Second Batterskull for when they destroy our first Batterskull. Cut Jace Beleren, always. Into the Royal is fine. I'm not completely impressed with it. Trim a Dismember. It's an awkward sideboard. It's another situation where it seems like we have more to come in than to take out. Well, cut another Dismember and only... We'll say only 2 Disenchants. We'll see how that goes. I would love to play first. Thank you. This hand has a blue source and a white source. I didn't need to learn a lesson. Everything just worked out my way. Helicopters going by. I hope you can hear that. A lot of very long pauses. I'm playing against, like, a fireman who's in the middle of putting out a fire and has to keep pausing. Like, sorry guys, I gotta do my stupid firework. One cannot spell pierce a Stoneforge Mystic. Okay. I feel like I'm an inch ahead. Just just an inch. We have a lot of flexibility here because we have access to sword and spell pierce, or mana leak and spell pierce, or sword and dismember, or mana leak and dismember. But I think I just want that to resolve. And I will go ahead and dismember the blocker. Oh? I guess I won't. Spell pierce, good. I keep telling you, and you keep not arguing. I'd be happy to see a Jace while I have the spell pierce up. Nope, okay. Can't pierce that. Sword of Wap is a spicy pick. I mean, I did it already, so I can't say it's that spicy, but still. Okay. I feel like the right line here is Jace, bounce before swing. Yeah, I like that. I like that, okay. With Spell Pierce up for their Spell Pierce if they have Spell Pierce. They have Spell Pierce. We have Spell Pierce. And Spell Pierce, good. Yeah, it would be very scary to risk the sword connecting there. Understandable. Okay. Don't have to worry about an Ink Moth Nexus blocking. Good to know. Double mana leak in hand feels pretty good. We know they're going to block, but we should still use up some mana pre-combat. Just on the off chance. Some, but not all. We could equip the hawk. I think it's better to hold our double mana leak. I'm comfortable putting a double mana leak on just that, actually. See how it goes. That felt like a really big swing. So we bounce their blocker. And then, let's see. Let's get the colonnade hit, just since we can. Could just kill their manland now, cutting them off 1 mana on their turn. I think that's advisable. We don't have any counter magic. We won't play our other hawks, partially because we'd like to represent counter magic even if we don't have it, but also because they're shuffle effects. Hardcast Batterskull? Or they have Sun Titan in hand and miscounted? Oh, Jace, okay. Just misclicks. Now, I think I'm comfortable losing the Jace to bounce that hawk, just so that... Yeah, that allows us to both kill the Jace and get a sword hit. Yeah, losing the Jace hurts, but I'm also removing theirs. Yeah. Then we can play out a hawk. Shuffle, please. If you have a chance to shuffle, just shuffle. Why not? A day of judgment would be really scary right now. Okay. Okay. What do I have? So if I animate the colonnade, then I get it blocked, I get that blocked, I deal 3 damage and wipe their board. No, they can activate and kill the colonnade. Okay. So, I mean, I still get 2 in and wipe their board. Yeah, I think that's the correct thing. Next turn, they can play a Batterskull, but I'll still have flyers. Oh, what am I even thinking? Oh, well, they can't flash in the Batterskull to block because it has protection from black. Huh. They'll get a Batterskull hit. I'm gonna go for it. Maybe I should keep one back. No, it's too late. I made my decision. Okay, well, that's lethal, isn't it? What do they have? Oh, right. I'm very forgetful. Okay. Rough. Yeah, that evened things out considerably. The Batterskull will bring them back to 5-ish. Shuffle, please. Unless they have an equipment in hand to put on the Batterskull, which would be truly brutal. They searched up the War and Peace, which I countered. I don't know. Decent, but not perfect. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, I can only into the Royal against one of them. And I feel like it's not likely to resolve. I feel like even if I've drawn a dozen lands, they must have drawn a mana leak or something. I can get through one mana leak with Kicker. I need to kick it. It's necessary. though it's likely to get it countered. Double Batterskull isn't something you'd beat without drawing some cards. Ugh. Not good enough. I could block it and shrink the germ. I guess I will. Tech Edge? Nope. Wow. That is game by a mile. I can't even get them back to 1. Brutal. See, this is a position where I would really like a Day of Judgment, but there's no reason to board it into this matchup. Gideon Juro would also be nice. I should have played the Tectonic Edge because there is a decent chance that they play another land and Colonnade. I thought it was more likely that they would bounce and replay the Batterskull. But in hindsight, yeah, it's lethal with Colonnade. Oh. Okay. Well, I will block it. Well, that could help, potentially. If it resolves. I think, realistically, the Batterskull is my only good option. A sword would be nice, but I don't know that it keeps me alive sufficiently when I can't swing it through the Sphinx. So, Batterskull it is. Yep. Mm-hmm. Correct sequencing, as we have discussed, is that they should have activated the Stoneforge Mystic holding priority and then bounced the Batterskull. But, as we've seen, it is easy to misclick. So probably better not to take the chance, and just assume that if I had a disenchant, I would have used it by now. Or rather, not the disenchant, but... well, yeah, disenchant would do it. Good lord, another one? That's just hurtful. Not attacking with the other one because I would eat it with my own Batterskull. I can't block even if I flash it in now. No, I want to keep my flyers. No, I want to keep a second Stoneforge Mystic, just in case. Could also go ahead and... yeah, I'll go ahead and Tech Edge one of the Colonnades. Just to get out ahead of that. Now, an option I have is to equip the batter skull to one of the flyers. I think that's necessary, otherwise it just bounces off the one with the sword, which, yes, I can bounce. But I'm going to lose to the Sphinx anyway, so I need to be bouncing it. I'll do that now? It doesn't feel great. Oh well. And then equip. They've drawn 1,000,000 cards, so they probably have a disenchant or something. Yes. They had exactly an or something. I think this is pretty much over. And now I gotta worry about poison counters. Right. Oof, not even replaying the Consecrated Sphinx. Yeah, the only conceivable out here would be a Day of Judgment. Which is not the card I drew. Yeah. You know what? Take one. Ha! And GG. Well, that didn't go great, but it was a fun one. The mirror is fun. Cawblade, good. 2 Cawblade, better. I hope that you also had fun. Comment your favorite thing about playing Cawblade mirror matches. I'm sure everybody has an opinion about that. Until the next time that I randomly decide to turn on a microphone at 4 o'clock in the morning, love y'all, have beautiful lives, and good night.